Hello Libra, welcome to your February 2025 reading. My name is Nigel and you have found alchemy. Okay, let's get started right away. We have the Sulfur card overarching your month. We know the certain aspects of sulfur can be negative. It has an odor to it, doesn't smell very nice, but at the same time, it has therapeutic properties. So in this instance, what seems negative might be the wrong word, but what seems not so nice, not so comfortable, contains something valuable. So that's a nice way to start. You also have here the Philosopher's Stone, and this is actually my favorite card in the deck. Powerful manifestation of wishes and goals. As you can see, I actually have that on my ring. I don't know if you can see it, but it obviously has a lot of meaning for me. The Philosopher's Stone is like a mythic alchemical substance, right? It's capable of turning base metals like mercury into gold or silver, right? Something not so valuable into something valuable. Additionally, it was said that it could be used to make the elixir of life, which makes regeneration and immortality possible. So what is being transmuted here this month for you? What is going from something that may not be comfortable for you or something that may not seem valuable to you to something of manifestation quality? Okay, you also have the stay-at-home card, and it says, spend time at home and take a break from the hustle and bustle of life and enjoy some quality time. There's something about your home here on the table. Is it a respite for you? It seems as though, but let's keep going, because the only reason I'm saying it has some meaning beyond what it says is you also have house here, right? And it's number 4. Let me see if I can get that to focus, right? This is Lenormand deck. Now, the house is, your house is obviously on the table. Now, what does it symbolize? Does it, the body sort of houses the soul. It could be a place that you go to think, to get your mind together for safety. Is it home and family? It begs the question here, Libra, what is home to you? Is it a person? Is it a place? Is it a feeling? Let's keep forging on here. You have the rabbit. And we know the rabbit, it says, let's start out with what it says. If you have been going through difficult times, it's time to think outside the box to find the solution. This is also a reminder to avoid neglecting your creative side. If you have let creative projects lapse, it may be time to pick them up again. It says cleverness. So there may be something going on this month where you're being asked to look at outside the box differently, maybe not at face value, much like the sulfur card. The rabbit in general is symbolistic of rebirth, good luck, new beginnings, obviously fertility. You have the number 17. It says, I am independent. The quality of work you can produce when you're going at it alone is almost unbelievable. You are as independent as you are ambitious, capable of performing every step of the way with efficiency, focus, and skill. Number 17, I am independent. Are you an independent thinker this month? Do you have to think differently from those around you in order to get ahead? Being the center of attention. Number 17 in numerology is being a star, the center of attention somehow. So you may be the center of attention this month in more ways than one. You also have passion here, and it's number 14 in the deck, and it is depicted. It says the soul. This is a fire card. A fiery aspect thrown in. What lights you up? What will do so this month specifically? Your passion seems to have breath. It seems to give life to something here, Libra. You do have, let's see if I can get this. You have needs before wants. Now, this could be something that you are sort of hammering into your head. Are you putting your needs before your wants? Are you putting yourself on a strict diet as far as how to think, what to buy? Normally, that's a very good thing. Maybe that's a great thing in this reading. We don't know yet. But there is something about needs before wants. Could it be a warning? It could be. It could be. Let's look at these cards here. You have sensuality, number 21. Your freedom flowing from afar. I dance, I love, I laugh, I play. And this is in the upright. When these particular cards, at least in my readings, come in the upright, this is something you're going to have to look for. And it's probably important that you do. Sensuality could mean, typical sexual pursuits. But mainly, in a general sense, it is the pursuit of pleasure. And with the needs before wants card, I do think this is something, the needs before wants, may be something you're trying to tell yourself. And the sensuality card is a sort of a reminder that there is another part of you that needs tending to as well, right? That part of you that thrives on sensuality, happiness, pleasure. There's a balance. And as a Libra, nobody knows that better than you. Nobody can accomplish that better than you, that balance, right? You have organization here, and it says, purpose, planning, efficiency now come to me so easily. Number 42. Now, this is coming in reverse. And when these cards come in reverse, at least in my readings, this is something that you're coming into the month with naturally. And that sort of makes sense, doesn't it, Libra? Because you have the needs before wants. You're trying to be organized. It's almost like you're setting yourself up for success, and you're trying to be strict with yourself. You're trying to be like, okay, I'm going to be organized, not going to spend. I mean, it all sounds great. It's actually something that many of us try to do in the new year. Now, why is it on the table? I don't know. Let's look at your charms, and then we'll go into your astrology, okay? Now, as far as your letters, your initials, you have B as in boy, you have H as in Hawaii, and you have X as in X, right? So those could be someone's initials, a place, a city, a building, a job. It could be anything like that. So keep an open mind when it comes to the letters. But being that you do have X, aside from all the things I just mentioned, when I see an X in someone's reading, it could be you trying to eliminate something, trying to X it out. Could it be an X? It absolutely could be, meaning an ex-lover. Absolutely, it could be. But many, many times this is you saying, you know what? I think that I'm going to put the brakes on this. And it sort of makes sense. You're trying to reinvent yourself. You're trying to be more sensible. You're trying to have success through, being very, very purposeful. All sounds amazing. But you have here the Three of Swords coming in reverse. The Three of Swords in reverse means you're healing from something. Are you healing from a relationship, a mindset? Perhaps in the past, your mindset has gotten you in trouble. Maybe you're saying, that's it, I'm going to reinvent myself. Could very well be a relationship or a job that really sort of pummeled you that way. But you do have the White Rose of Hope here, and that's great. You're healing beautifully. But for this to be on the table, it's meaningful in some way. Now you have the Money charm, and this Money charm is coming in upside down, and it's not reverse. It's not reverse in the way you think. It's just upside down. And when that particular charm, when most of these charms are literally upside down, it means that it's something hidden. You're either coming into money that you're not talking about, right? You're keeping it to yourself. You're investing it quietly. You're doing something with it, and you're not sharing it with the world. Or it's money that you don't know is coming your way. It's either one or it's the other, but it is definitely subsurface stuff. You also have the Shamrock, and the Shamrock was in reverse as well. So you have luck, right? Again, luck that you're either keeping to yourself, and you're keeping close to the chest, or luck that you just don't see coming yet. You have two charms that are sort of entangled with one another. And one is the key, the golden key, which is value. It's knowledge. It could be money that's opening a door for you. There is a door opening with that key. And because it's gold, I'm really thinking that it has something to do with your career. It has something to do with money. And it was entangled in this plane. And this plane was upside down as well. And this could mean travel that you're not aware of yet. You're going to be traveling, or could be travel that you're trying to plan that you really aren't sharing with anyone. But one was entangled with the other. And I'm wondering if you're going to be coming into some money and spending it on travel, or you're traveling. And as a result of that travel, it could be travel for any particular reason. It doesn't have to be a vacation. It could be travel for work. It could be you going from one location to another, and it has something to do with money. So there's that. Let's look at your astrology. So you've pulled the sign of Virgo here. And as we know, Virgo is the sign directly before yours. There, you could be dealing with a Virgo. You could have Virgo highly aspected in your chart, or someone who has Virgo highly aspected in their chart. Or you could be leading on the attributes of Virgo, which makes sense. Needs before wants, methodical, organized. You could be coming into the month that way. You pull lunar eclipse, and the lunar eclipse is culmination, release, illumination. So when we look at the lunar eclipse, it brings about endings. It brings about culminations, letting go of what no longer serves you, facing your shadows. Lunar eclipse occurs obviously when, the Earth is positioned between the moon and the sun, blocking the light of the sun from the moon. Lunar eclipse always happens on the full moon, and like solar eclipses, lunar eclipses often bring sudden and lasting change. It ushers in a catalyst that we need, no matter how pleasurable or painful. Where the eclipse happens in your chart specifically will point to how that particular eclipse will affect your life. Look to the aspects of the sun and the moon to see if this eclipse brings breakdowns or breakthroughs. It happens probably 6 times a year. Also, we have the sign of Leo. Leo happens right before Virgo. It's almost like you're going in order in many ways, because you even have Scorpio, which comes right after Libra. So there's something sort of coming step by step by step by step, right? Leo, courageous, regal, loyal. Same thing. You could be dealing with Leo. You could be. But Leo shines in the spotlight. Leo's a natural leader. Others usually gravitate towards Leo as a source of light, sun. They have confidence, and so people are attracted to that. You have the call of the lion here on the table. So you need to allow yourself to absorb the attention that falls on you this month here, Libra. Leo asks you to shine as bright as you possibly can and to show off your authenticity. The more you allow yourself to be seen, the more others can revel in your gifts. Definitely be brave during this time. Bravery is on the table. Now, as a contrast here, we have Scorpio. Deep, intense, transformative. It's pretty interesting how we're going in order. But Scorpio wields it's sort of like a potent power with a venomous sting attached to it. It's very mysterious. And they move swiftly between secrets. Is there something you're keeping close to the chest? They have passion. They have purpose. Passion. They have purpose. They can be persuasive. They have the ability to regenerate. And we talked about the regenerative properties over here. Yeah. Scorpio asks you to investigate your inner self and explore your shadow. What parts of yourself are you keeping secret and why? Set yourself free. There's something that's right under the surface here. Right under the surface. Okay. I don't know about you, but I am ready for tarot. Let's do this. It's worth mentioning, too, that there is a full moon in Leo on February 12th. And you should allow that to sort of ignite some sort of passion that you're probably subduing. And I see why you're subduing it. You're trying to be logical and sensible, right? So keep that under your hat here. You now on your first leg of the month here, you have, it's a cycle, completion, change, very scorpionic energy. The butterfly on the picture represents some sort of rebirth, death and rebirth. Let me move this over so I can get everything in. Now, we have the Two of Pentacles as you enter the month. The Two of Pentacles is Jupiter in Capricorn. Now, for this energy, it seems as though you're juggling more than one thing. You may be called upon to have patience with something as you're doing this, as you're balancing. Very Libran in some way. It reminds me of the scales, trying to balance something, trying to juggle something, trying to keep your head straight through something. You're trying to have patience. I'm getting that. You're trying to have patience. There is an infinity symbol here that's making you feel like this is just an endless sort of task. You have the Seven of Cups. And the Seven of Cups is Venus in Scorpio energy. It's a card of choices. And with these choices could come some confusion. Could also come some indecision, right? Going back and forth with something. Should I choose that? Should I choose this? You're being pulled in two different directions. You have the Nine of Swords, and this may lead to some anxiety. This Mercury in Gemini energy. This could be a wake-up call to acknowledge or confront your fear, your anxiety of something. What are you anxious about? Maybe your anxiety is trying to point you in a direction. Because if you were in the right mode, if you were in the right mode for your success, it would be a lot easier. There's something that is tapping you on the shoulder, so to speak. When we add this up and we break it down, we get Mars energy, right? Pushing forward in the face of that anxiety. Could be lack of patience. Mars, Aries energy, it's not known for its patience. So patience is a virtue here. Patience seems to be key. You are in the middle of either completing a cycle or you have just completed a cycle and you are onto a brand new path. All right. Now, as we move on to your second leg, we have your comfort zone here, your south node. You're clinging to a comfort zone. You're clinging to a place that feels comfortable to you. You're trying to exist within that comfort zone. You have the Eight of Wands in reverse. And the thing is, your comfort zone is not doing you any favors. And I think you're going to find out mid-month that you're not having the forward motion that you want. You're trying to figure out why. Why is that? I'm doing everything right, right? In the center of your reading, you have the Six of Wands in reverse. Now, the Eight of Wands is Mercury in Sagittarius, and the Six of Wands is Jupiter in Leo. There's a lack of reward here, lack of forward motion here. You're clinging to a comfort zone. You're clinging to a comfort zone, and it's not producing what you want it to produce, because you go from the Eight of Wands to the Six of Wands to the Ten of Pentacles in reverse. Your long-term security feels, at least mid-month, you're not going to feel so sure anymore. You're not going to feel so sure that you're coming into this with the right attitude or coming into this with the right energy. When we add this up and we break it down, we get Venus, and Venus is our money, our career, and our love life. So it could encompass any of those things. It really could. There is something you're approaching here with either with an older energy that you need to do away with, or a new energy that you have chosen this energy with the hope and with the idea that it's going to propel you forward. But it isn't, and it doesn't. And I think mid-month you're trying to figure that out here, Libra. There is a lack here mid-month. So as we move on to your end of month, it's very interesting. because you do have Neptunian energy. It does say confusion, illusion, but you can see those glasses, they're rose colored, right? And it's the opposite of what you've come into the month with, right? That's the opposite of rose colored glasses. You came in with this realism, this, oh my God, I have to buckle down and do X, Y, and Z. But you know what? You have, let me see if I can move some of this stuff. You have that Neptunian energy. Neptune is also sometimes said to represent the dissolution of boundaries that you have made. Maybe you have made stringent boundaries for yourself. You have the moon as well. And what the moon shares with Neptune is that it can be a confusing time. But it is a time of growth. It is Cancerian energy. And you can also be using your intuition to change direction. There is some sort of direction that you're changing. And I love this because all this stuff leads to your 10 of Cups. You come to some sort of realization here. You come to some sort of realization here. And this realization leads to this Mars and Pisces energy, success, happiness, those rose-colored glasses without the glasses. Things are truly looking better. Things are truly looking good. Maybe it is confusing. Maybe you're taking the road less traveled. Maybe you're taking the road that other people say doesn't work. And you're like, well, I tried the road that other people take that seemed to work for them, but it didn't work for me. It did not work for me. Now, this comes with these two cards that came out together. One is Temperance in reverse, Sagittarian energy. Now, lack of patience again. It's okay. You're starting to see good things happen and then you don't want to wait anymore. All right. Lack of patience. But that's okay because you also have the 8 of Pentacles and you're continuing to work here. Sun in Virgo. Sun in Virgo. You're working on something and you go from lack of patience to saying, you know what? I'm just going to keep going down this road because this road feels better. I don't know why it feels better. Maybe it shouldn't feel better. Maybe all logic points to the other road, but this is making me feel better. So I'm going to go with my gut feeling and not the gut feelings and not the advice of others. I'm going with my intuition now, and it feels good. It feels good. When we add this up and we break it down, we get the Mercury energy, right? That Virgo, Gemini energy, clarity, communication. Definitely. Okay, so let's move on to your challenges for the month, right? It says spy, watching, inspecting. I don't think that's other people. It could be. Could be. I think this is you pulling something apart and putting it back together. Trying to figure out indecision, weighing things, trying to figure out what makes sense, what doesn't for you. Inspecting something, putting a magnifying glass to it. You have the Knight of Swords in reverse. And we know that this is the fastest knight in the deck, right? It's a forward motion. It's Mercury and Gemini energy. But in reverse, it's kind of lack of movement. It's a stall. And I think we see that mid-month. You stalling because you're trying to follow other people's advice. Maybe it's advice you found on TikTok, or Instagram. We always see these, motivational things that work for pretty much everyone else. And it makes sense to us. And so we try it. And some of us just don't get the same result, right? Some of us have to think outside the box. So you temporarily stall here and you have the Hermit, which is Virgo energy. And it's in reverse. There is something you're not seeing mid-month. But I believe that's temporary energy. You're not following your own path. You're following the path of someone else. That someone laid out for you. I don't know where you got it from. It could have come from, like I said, doing research yourself. It could come from a well-meaning human being in your life. But you have the 2 of Wands here. And as a challenge, It's going to be challenging, right? Mars and Aries energy to wait. Because you see, this is a card of waiting. And what did I say? Lack of patience. Lack of patience, at least for part of the month. You're going to have lack of patience. And when we add this up and break it down, we get 11. It is a master number. The initiators. You're initiating something. You're starting something. A cycle ended. There was something beginning here. 11 is a bridging number from one thing to another. It might be a bit of a challenge mid-month. But it looks like the end of month is really different for you here, Libra. Now, you have in your opportunities pile a union. Now, like I said with the Venus energy, this could be it could be a love situation. It could also be a work situation. So you have the opportunity to come together with something, right? You're either coming together with a person and you're thinking outside the box and you're finding your sensuality and you're doing all those things and your fertility and you're finding out where home is in another human being, or you are coming together with a whole different idea about how to run your life, career-wise, goal-wise, manifestation-wise. You're coming together. It's a union nonetheless, right? Look at these cards. And I'm really glad I do the shuffling and the laying out right on camera for you to see. If you ever need to slow it down, you can do that. Because I like to prove, that these have fallen out by themselves. But you do have the star. Aquarius energy. The star is, and this is your opportunities pile. The star is wishes coming true. Healing. Healing from this Three of Swords moment. Disappointment in love, disappointment in a job, disappointment with your manifestations thus far. Healing from that because something has caused you to heal. You have, following this, the Death card, which is the Scorpio rebirth card. The death of something, a cycle completing and another cycle beginning. Rebirth. When these two cards come out together, you have healing that leads to rebirth. You also have you leaving this month with hope in the face of change. The star in the face of death. Hope in the face of change through transformation. You can find hope and healing and optimism for the future. You may not have had that every aspect, every moment of the month. You obviously haven't. There's some level of confusion, but this is your opportunities pile, and you have the Knight of Wands in reverse as an opportunity. The Knight of Wands is Jupiter and Sagittarius, right? But it is the Knight of Wands in reverse can be a powerful desire for change that others around you don't understand or agree with. There is something you're finding out for you. There is a road that's opening that you are going to decide to take after careful weighing and doing that Libra consideration. And you're going to say, Road A makes sense, but it didn't feel right. It didn't feel good. Road B makes little sense to those around me, but I feel rejuvenated. I feel like I can forge on. I feel like I could turn that Knight of Swords around and move forward now, right? All these cards will be flipped mid-month. And ironically, when we add this up and we break it down, we get Jupiter, right? Jupiter came out twice in this opportunity pile. Jupiter and Sagittarius, right? Expansion, optimism, luck. The Shamrock, luck. Beautiful energy. Now I'm going to pull a couple of these cards, and then we're going to do your numerology and take into consideration the whole reading. When we do that, give me for Libra for February 2025, please. Perfect. We have true feelings are masked. I really believe that's true. At the beginning of the month, you're trying. And I think you're doing it for the right reasons, too. You are. But underneath that, you're going to find, after careful introspection, you're going to find something else. The Maiden, a new relationship blossoms. Now, this could be, like I said, this union card could be an integration with another human being. Could be a leveling up of a relationship that maybe had you confused. It could be a relationship between two parts of yourself that are coming together, and all of a sudden you have purpose, you have direction. Really nice energy, especially with this golden key. I mean, there's too many good things here, but don't expect an easy ride. Don't expect for you to come into the month and just say, okay, now February started, now I know exactly what to do. It's a little bit of a journey. It's a little bit of a journey, but look at your opportunity. Look at your final leg. Now let's look at your numerology. When we add up every single number in this reading and we break it down, we get that bridging number again, 11. 11 also represents a relationship coming together, right? So it's a union, it's an initiation, a leveling up. It is a bridge between one thing and another. Your lucky numbers for this reading are 21, 42, 17, 14, 4, and 29. When we look at the numbers, the number that came out the most was Mars. That sort of impatient energy that's going to sort of be a little agitating this month, right? We also have Saturn, the Lord of Karma, lessons. You're learning a lesson this month about who to listen to. You, your intuition, your soul, your core is what you need to listen to. Now, the signs on the table here are Libra, Cancer, Pisces, Sagittarius, Virgo, Gemini, Leo, Taurus, Libra. Oh, we already said Libra, Aries, Aquarius, Scorpio, and Capricorn. Now, the signs that we talked about the most were Virgo, right? We talked about Virgo. It's pretty amazing how Virgo keeps coming out. And is Virgo something you are coming into the month with because you think it's the right way to? It usually is. I mean, I have nothing but admiration for Virgos because they're so different from me. They're methodical. They tear things apart. They put them back together. And maybe that's part of it. Maybe you do that in order to get to these answers. And the second sign that came out, close second place, is Sagittarius, that Jupiter energy, that optimistic luck. So with this meticulous introspection that you're going to be going through, that hermit energy, you're going to end up in this very lucky place. The planet that came out the most was Mercury, that clarity, that Virgo, Gemini energy. Yeah. Beautiful, beautiful. Libra, I wish you nothing but the best. I will see you next time. Namaste.